So we talk about kurtosis. Kurtosis is try to measure how thick the tail is. Sometimes people talk about how the peak is, because the tail and the peak are one way or the other. But people usually talk about for tail instead of the peak. So the kurtosis is basically the same as, very similar to skewness, but instead of 3, right? Because remember, the skewness is cubic distance from the mean normalized by the cubic of the standard deviation. So that, but instead of 3, we replace by 4. So maybe the power of 4, the difference, the distance from the mean, average distance from the mean, and then divided by the fourth time power of 4 to the power of 4 of the standard deviation. So the formula is like this. It's very complicated, but don't worry. Every package will give you this one. Okay. Kurtosis by itself, usually we don't use this exactly raw measure. Usually what we use what we call excess kurtosis. So it will be kurtosis minus 3. So minus 3, if this is exactly to 3, exactly to 0, then we'll call mesokurtic. Mesokurtic actually is exactly what we mean by normal distribution or Gaussian distribution. We will learn a lot later, but normal means something appear a lot very often. So what we said here is if the kurtosis is more or less 3, then it's similar to the bell curve. It's a bell-shaped curve. It's called normal distribution. And it's more than 3, right? Which means the excess is more than 0. Then we call leptokurtic, which means fat tail. And excess kurtosis means less than 0. Okay, we saw platokurtic. Okay, it's mean thin. Okay, it's not English, but I think it's Roman, and then that's how little here, or Latin, I forgot. But anyway, it's not English, but it means middle, meso, and crypto is slender, and platy is called broad. But doesn't really matter. Usually we just call fat tail or thin tail is more people refer to. So you can see the graph. This is the one you expect, the normal one, the mesokurtic, and the fat tail will be, okay, maybe this is much fatter is higher, right? That's why the fat tail then will be lower peak, but people say tail is the peak. So, and then same as platokurtic is a much thinner tail, but much higher peak. Okay, so that's it. This for kurtosis. Thank you. And besides this, forgot one thing to mention is the sample counterpart. That is a little bit more complicated. The sample counterpart here is the original kurtosis multiplied by bunch of object minus 3 of bunch of object, because minus 3 here when you measure can be very complicated, and usually the formula we have is this one. Okay, it's just simple algebra lead to here, but you can see if you take the standard deviation, take the fourth moment, or this minus mean to power 4, and will be adjusted by such a complicated term. So this is how to prove it is very complicated, but this is somewhat people propose it, and when you take it to software package, this is what you have. Okay, thank you.